Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It's Saturday, June 13th. I'm Lily Wu.
And I'm Tanner Swift. We've been talking about the rain for the weekend and possibly some flooding by the time we get through with the weekend into the first part of next week. Still looking like a very soggy forecast, The good news is today I think we're actually going to get a few breaks. It's not going to be a complete washout today, but we're going to have to dodge some showers and a few storms. And also the good news is not looking for a lot of severe weather. So it is a soggy forecast for the weekend. If you have outdoor activities, make sure you have Plan B. Take a look at KAKE's First Alert Doppler HD. You can see western Kansas waking up nice and dry this morning. Just a few scattered showers here in the eastern half of the state. Take you in a little bit closer here to south central Kansas, and you can see a little shower moving through downtown Wichita, and then as you work your way off toward the north and the west, another little shower between Haven and Mays that will continue to lift off toward the north and the east. And then as we work our way into north central Kansas, you can see just a few showers from Ellsworth over toward Lincoln down through Salina, everything lifting off toward the northeast. Again, nothing severe out there, just a few sprinkles, and we're going to have to dodge those showers off and on as we head through the day. Look outside using the Emprise Bank K-Cam, and you can see that shower moving over downtown. Lots of clouds out there. It is a fairly mild start to our day with a temperature of 68 degrees. It's 64 in Great Bend, 66 in Salina, 69 right now in Hutch. Here's a look at our day planner. Again, not a complete washout. It's not just going to rain all day, but off and on showers, perhaps a few thunderstorms as we go through the day. 78 by the noon hour, up to 80 degrees for a high today. It looks like those rain chances sticking with us well into next week. Complete look at that forecast coming up.
Thank you, Tanner. Well, new this morning, a standoff in Dallas after suspects opened fire on officers. Multiple gunmen fired automatic weapons at officers early this morning outside the Dallas police headquarters. One of the suspects left in an armored van and rammed into a police car, and a standoff continued now for hours. The suspect blames police for losing custody of his son and accusing him of being a terrorist. No injuries have been reported. Iowa shoppers stunned after a deadly shooting inside a popular mall. Witnesses hearing gunshots in the food court of Coral Ridge Mall in Coralville around 7:30 last night. A man shot at least one woman and ran away. The woman was killed in the shooting. The suspect was arrested during a traffic stop 50 miles away from the mall. No motive has been released. A large manhunt continues in New York after two convicted murderers escape a maximum security prison in a week. An employee in the jail has been arrested for helping the men break out. Meanwhile, Richard Matt and David Sweat are still on the run. The record overtime session in Topeka is over. Kansas lawmakers passed a bill to help balance the budget, but the work isn't over. Some cuts still need to be made. KAKE's Monica Castro reports from Topeka on what's next.
After much deliberation, Kansas legislators finally approved the increase of sales and cigarette taxes to get rid of that budget deficit. With House and Senate approval, the tax policy will now go to Governor Sam Brownback for final approval. The last measures taken Friday, both the Senate and House passed a budget bill or trailer bill.
One of those pieces of policy was a $50 million reduction that we told the governor he was going to have to make out of the budget as part of this. So there was no way we were going to try to fill this hole with taxes only.
This same trailer bill passed in the Senate with one no vote. This bill allows the governor to pick and choose where there will be reductions. However, Brownback cannot make any cuts in public education.
In some cases, they have to do it in a block grant, so they can only get it out of one place. So this allows it to be more surgical, so he knows he can go into the budgets where he knows that it won't harm any of the core services.
The two bills together will raise $384 million to balance the budget. At the State House in Topeka, Monica Castro, KAKE News.
Legislators will return on Friday the 26th. That's when the governor will look at all the bills passed and decide whether or not to veto any of them. This bill is the largest tax hike in Kansas history. Now we're digging deeper with a look at just what this new tax plan would mean to your budget. The state sales would increase from 6.15% to 6.5%. The cigarette tax would jump 50 cents a pack to $1.29. The bill also increases income taxes for some business owners. The plan is expected to raise an estimated $384 million. Several senators vowed they wouldn't sign a bill that raised taxes. Lawmakers told conservative group Americans for Prosperity they would cut spending and not raise taxes. But later, some changed their minds. In this scenario, they said raising the sales tax was better than cutting funding for schools, roads, or Medicaid.
You can say, well, I took a commitment to them, but first and foremost, we took a commitment to the men and women that voted for us to say we're going to do what's best for our district and what's best for the state of Kansas.
Legislators also say raising the sales tax was the least harmful way to tackle a majority of the budget shortfall. Sedgwick County District Attorney Mark Bennett says he won't file criminal charges against the officer who fatally shot a 26-year-old Marine. Bennett says the officer acted in self-defense when Icarius Randolph advanced toward him holding a knife. Randolph was killed on July 4th last year in the front yard of his family's home. Family members were the ones who called 911 that day. Randolph's family says the Marine had just returned from Iraq and was suffering from PTSD. They say they called for help because they didn't know who else or what else to do for him. 2 officers responded to the 911 call. Bennett says the one who ultimately shot Randolph had received crisis intervention training. That training helps officers better recognize the symptoms of someone suffering from mental illness and then helps them find ways to de-escalate potentially violent situations appropriately.
More and more, the frontline social workers who interact with people with mental health issues are law enforcement. Every minute of training they can receive to better help them understand how to deal with those sort of folks, I think is an objective good for this community or any community, because more and more is being asked of them in that role.
Bennett says in this situation, the altercation between Randolph and the officer happened so fast, and the officer didn't see Randolph's knife until Randolph had backed him into a corner. KAKE News tried to reach the Randolph family but didn't hear back from them. In the past, they've been very critical of the police officer's action the day of the shooting. Digging deeper now, the last officer-involved shooting in Wichita was back in January of this year. John Paul Quintero was shot by Wichita PD after he was reportedly tased by officers. Police were called out to the scene on North Oliver at several calls to 911 about Quintero reportedly making threats with a knife. The district attorney is investigating the Quintero shooting. An update now on a West Wichita shooting that killed a man on Thursday. Police say it was all over a puppy. The shooting happened near Maple and Edwards. The 41-year-old victim got in a fight with 3 other people over a pit bull puppy. He was shot in the torso and died at the hospital. Justin Rourke later turned himself in. He faces charges of second-degree murder. He is 32 years old. KAKE News on your side is digging deeper into Wichita's homicides. The murder of Edwards is the 13th of the year, exactly half of last year's. 26 total homicides in 2014. In 2013, 17 people were killed in the city, 28 murders in 2012. Wichita police think a pedestrian hit and killed by a train on Friday morning may have been involved in an earlier accident. The accident with the train took place just before 2 a.m. at K15 and Hydraulic. Shortly before that accident, police received a call of another accident in the area. A witness there gave a description of a man who left the scene. This is the 3rd deadly train collision at K15 and Hydraulic in 2 years. A pedestrian was killed there in August of 2013, and a bicyclist was hit and killed in June of last year.